What's up, everyone? Have a great day. Hope you're having a great day. God loves you. So, I was recently watching a video, and it got me thinking for the question of the video. I was watching a video of this former Muslim, a guy who had left Islam, and he was explaining the different things that they were going through. He was talking about how not believing in Islam, his father denounced him, and he was willing to. He was even offering for people to come and kill him, and that his blood is totally acceptable because I don't have a son anymore, that kind of thing. And it got me thinking. Abraham's kids, Ishmael and Isaac, let the half siblings go at it. I'm so glad I'm a Gentile. I'm so glad I'm an adopted son. I don't want no parts of this actual blood sibling rivalry. I'm just part of the family. I still get invited to the cookout. I'm totally cool with it. The original first brother, actually, the secret, no one talks about him brother, and then the brother that everyone knows about because from Isaac he had Jacob and Esau, and Judeo-Christian values, huh? So I thought it was the Germans and the Nazis that were the evil people who hated Jews. I said it in another video where it turned out that one day Germans found out that they weren't German, they were actually Jewish because they had been living their life as Germans all their life, as Polish people, as Austrian people, as Hungarian people, as Czech people, as French people, as Spanish people. They had been living as Spaniards. But then one day they woke up and found out, oh shit, I guess I'm not Spanish, I guess I'm not German, I'm Jewish. And there's a difference. So then you turn around and tell me, after we defeat the Nazis in Operation Paperclip, we all know that Germany lost the war, the Nazis never lost the war. Anyway, thank you, Prescott Bush and the Rockefellers. Appreciate you. We go from learning that Germans are the most evil people ever, that the Nazis were just the most evil people ever, that hated the Jews above all else. But then you turn around and tell me that it's actually the Muslim Brotherhood that hates Jews. Aside from the trope that, fine, everyone hates Jews, fine. But I thought it was that the Germans who hated the Jews. In other words, they're not Christian, but let's just call them the Gentiles. The Gentiles hate the Jews for what they did to Jesus and all that. But then you want to retroactively tell me that Muslims are the ones who hate Jews. And if it wasn't for Jews, you wouldn't have Christianity. So, be on our side, or actually we're on your side. So let's work together to go kill some Muslims. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Judaism. I believe in Christianity. Jesus is the way, the life, and the truth. Those are the three veils in the tabernacle: the way, the life, and the truth. The way, the truth, and the life. So, it seems to me that there's a family feud going on. It's not a ideological war going on because, and this is where I'm circling back to it, the way the guy was talking in the video, and he was talking to Jordan Peterson, whatever you feel about Jordan, the way the guy was talking to him about how Islam basically turns on its own, and it clicked. It clicked when I was watching this video, and I said, wait a minute, that sounds like some sibling shit. Like, you might disagree, you might not get along, with your brother, your half brother, your half sister, all that, you may not get along with them. You may have your differences. You may be spotted out in the wild and you guys look completely different. But you guys act exactly the same. Same household, same father. You guys act exactly the same. Everything's all good until someone doesn't like the group or whatever, doesn't believe in the same thing as the group, and then you turn around and you actually kill your sibling before you kill the Goyim, the Gentiles. So you have a statue of Babylon, and it's all one culture. It's one man because it's one person. The Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, the British Empire afterwards. But so, I mean, help me out here, guys. I'm really trying to figure this out. Because for the longest time, I thought it was Jews who hated Christians, or meaning that like they were upset with Christians who hated Jews. So then why am I being told now, I mean not now, but it's been, Judeo-Christian values. We did a whole 20-year war in Afghanistan, you remember that? The war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan can basically buy a beer at this point. You know what I mean? So Muslims are going to take over America and Sharia law and okay. But you cover up your women too. You don't really let your women speak, really, unless they're sycophants for the military-industrial complex and for Bibi Netanyahu and for Israel. You don't really let your women speak. And it just seems to me that you're not really into Christians. Because I would think that, well, if it wasn't for us, you guys wouldn't be here. Alright, so then why don't we really get along? And then I'm reminded, guys, of how Paul was changed from Saul to Paul. The guy was killing former Jews who became Christians. Sure, you're a Gentile who became a Christian, and sure, I get it, I'm gonna kill you. But the guy was going after Jews who became Christian. Then saw the light, well, he was blinded, saw the light, and then, became the Apostle Paul. And then he was like retroactively, telling people, look, man, I was a horrible person, and, the self-deprecating humor. It seems to me that Muslims and Jews end up doing the exact same thing where they actually hate their own group first before everyone else. And I get it. Everyone hates Jews. Fine. They don't, but everyone hates Jews. Fine. However, you need to live your life in perpetual victimhood. I think Christians need to just sit this one out. By the way, shout out to every one of these Christians all around the world that are being killed and persecuted right now. Thank God nothing's really happening in America, but that doesn't mean that Christians aren't being persecuted in China, Nigeria, Syria, Turkey. It doesn't mean that Greece right now, Israel, of course Saudi Arabia, I guess, and of course Libya. But we're talking about places that aren't even Muslim dominated places. Because I guess Sri Lanka is also kind of, no, they're not even wiping out Christians. They're just like ambivalent to them. They're just apathetic to Christians. So, but even still, shout out to every one of these Christians that are being persecuted and slaughtered and genocided over there in these parts of the world. I know I'm going off for very much of a rant, and I know no one's listening, I know no one's watching, but God still loves you, man. He still wants you to come home. Believe whatever you want. Listen to whoever you want. It's your free will. You can do whatever you want, man. But you are not void of consequences. If you're so hell bent on making sure that I know that that guy's your enemy, you better be right, bro. I'm not gonna forget the USS Liberty. I'm not gonna forget JFK. You tell me that guy's doing something wrong and it turns out that you were lying, I hope I can't find you. Because you just made me waste 20 years going to secure all the Mesopotamian artifacts, because it wasn't even about oil and whatnot, because we export more than we import. That was mostly about Nephilim statues and, trying to uncover the Euphrates River and whatnot. That's a whole other conversation. But you better get it right, dude. You better get it right when you say that's the guy that raped my daughter. Because if I kill someone, through the goodness of my heart, because I'm defending my friend, my stepbrother, the guy who was first doing this thing fucked up, and then it turned out that our dad needed to go find somebody else from outside the group after Jesus dies and whatnot. The point is that Jesus was a Hebrew, but then he became for everyone, for the Gentiles and whatnot. You mean to tell me that you couldn't get it right the first time? You mean to tell me that you're such an amazing sibling? You're the chosen son, and you couldn't get it right? You needed the Gentiles to show you what love is? That's pathetic. Because I get it. The Gentiles are evil. Oh, they're horrible people. Okay, then how come you can't... How come the Church of Satan is feeding more people, more homeless people, than the church? I'm more upset at the church that they can't put up better numbers than that. You mean to tell me the Church of Satan is out charitting you? And that's how it is. You were the chosen son. You failed, and you can't even admit that you killed one of your own. So, let the siblings fight. Is the point of this entire rant. Let the siblings fight, dude, because I'm trying to figure out, this is my autistic question of the day. I'm trying to figure out why I should give a fuck that a Muslim hates a Jew. The fuck do I care about that? Let the siblings fight. They're just half siblings that are just fighting it out with themselves. I'm the step kid. I'm the adopted kid. Don't bring me into your bullshit. I'm just trying to sit in my corner, smoke my weed, play some video games, and go ask my dad some questions. Intellectual research questions every so often. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, if this were to happen, what would this be? Hey, what did you mean when you said this? What's the actual word that you were using here? That's what I just want to do. Y'all want to fight it out and have ownership of a piece of earth. Israel is in here. The church is in here. The temple is here. It's not a piece of land. But wrapping it all up, God loves you and He still wants you to come home. Let's all have a big family reunion. Let's have an amazing family cookout, man. Instead of cooking each other and burning up all the dead babies. Love you.